pricing is the only leverage you have in the conversation.
In this industry, for sure.
Yes, that's the only leverage you got in the moment.
I would agree with that.
Because insurance agents are a dime a dozen. You can get them anywhere. And they can get pricing anywhere too. But in that moment, you're with them, they're with you, they want pricing.
That's what they're waiting to hear from you.
That's what they want right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? So until you give that out, you have the ability to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The moment I give out pricing, I lose all leverage. They can say whatever they want. And it's hard for me to go back and go, what about, hey, what happens if, oh my God, what? It's, dude, you sound like a scumbag.
Not when you start doing the math. Yeah.
No, we're not. He's good. He can edit it. Correct. Again, you get 20, you know, what's your comp? 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then what do you keep on the books?
True.
2.
Lead cost. Yeah.
Best case, you're at 15. Now you got advance. So now maybe best case, you're at 12.
Mm-hmm. And
you got lead costs. So you're at 7, 8, 9 best case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got shitty comp, you're at 4 now. You know what I'm saying?
So $20K a month.
Or you're writing all guaranteed issue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what's your 20K a month tip? Dude, most people ain't making money at that, dude.
It's funny too. Actually, I'm going to save this. Either way, dude, you know what? Guys, we're hanging out. We're giving you a little behind the scenes. Welcome back to the Power Player Podcast. I'm hanging out with John Wetmore. I've never done that. I'm like, dude, we're just going to talk right into it. I like that. Dude, you know what I saw too is like before this we were talking about making $400K a month, right? You guys have seen me do a bunch of stuff.
40K. I would gladly talk about $400K a month, but we were talking about 40 for clarity.
Yes, I did actually. You know what? It wasn't selling insurance, but I did have my first $400K month in, I think it was April of 2018.
Yeah,
and I didn't sustain that, but that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I thought about those? Cardone has this video on the internet about how it's like, if you make $400,000 a year, you should be ashamed of yourself and like embarrassed and like all this stuff, you know, people get so offended, but he's like, you know what? He's like, really, I was talking about me, you know, I'm like, you know what? I get that. And I feel like you have done a good job with your organization and your team standardizing. 40K a month is the bar.
Yeah. You can live a good living then, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like 40K a month sounds like a ass ton of money until you make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, again, reality, 40K after taxes is what? I mean, I don't know what the number is, but
well, you're the accounting.
It sure ain't 40.
You're the accountant.
It ain't 40 no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's actually John's my tax guy. You guys didn't know that. I sound like a freaking spoiled brat when I'm like, dude, I don't know that I can live on 30, 40 grand a month anymore. You know what I mean? Like it goes so fast.
Yeah.
It goes fast.
It does go fast.
And you do end up spending it, you know, you find ways to, even if you guys are making 40 and you end up with 20, 25, 30 grand after expenses or whatever, like you're going to find a way to spend 20 grand.
Hell yeah, dude. I mean, think 25 grand, you got a mortgage, someone get a nice house, you got a mortgage that's a few grand. I don't know, it's a decent sized house, right? For a few grand. Yeah. I mean, it's nothing extraordinary.
Sure.
3, 4, 5 grand for mortgage. You got probably 2 car payments at $1,000 each, right?
Probably at that level.
Yeah. I mean, you got insurance that's probably $1,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
You got to eat, you know what I mean? Which I see my food bill, bro. And I'm like, golly, you think we have an army at the house, but
do you guys DoorDash?
Yeah, heck yeah, bro. It's typically not me. I actually don't have the app, but Maddox and Steph, if y'all ever watch this, I love you dearly, but it's like, Amanda's like, how many times a day can they DoorDash? She manages my checkbook now, you know, my bank account and stuff. But yeah.
Well, it's funny you say that. Lauren DoorDash Sonic to the house earlier, and I'm like, girls DoorDashing again. It's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, 25 G's, you got call it 20 after your mortgage, and probably
18 after
I don't know,
cars,
18
17
after
after
cars,
insurance.
7, yeah. And then you're down to
You
shit,
get it like
12 after taxes. And then you got $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in lead expense. Now you got $4 or $5,000 left to live on. You got your kids in private school. Maybe that's a couple grand a month. You know what I'm saying? You want to go on vacation. Dude, it goes quick.
gas, utilities.
It goes
Yeah.
quick.
You end up with after DoorDash, you end up with a negative $32.
Correct. So it's like the people that are issuing 10 or 15 and, you know, uplines are doing cartwheels. I'm like, dude, the person issuing 10 or 15 is literally broke.
They are. Yeah, they are.
And most people don't want to say that, dude.
In the world we live in, because of, an entrepreneur is glamorized, but dude, it is not cheap to run a business, even an insurance business.
Mm-hmm.
Like you'll find a way to, and everybody's got the new fancy tech and the new CRM and the special AI, that does all the calling for them and whatever else,
Dude, I'm coaching this guy at another company. He's asked for my help. I'm gonna find the. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find the damn screenshot I sent. Oh, here it is. I sent him a screenshot because he's like, he sends me a text the other day and he's like, I've been trying to get to 40 grand a month. I think he said for like a year and he can't figure it out. His high is 20. And he says, and he goes, do you have any recommendations? I'm like, for what? Like, yes, I do, bro. And he's like, he goes, do you have people doing that much insurance? So I sent him a screenshot. I would show it on here, but like, it's not going to,
if you put it in front of your face, it might.
I don't know if you can see that.
No, it's not working.
So it's our top 55 people year to date through week 3 in September are over 340K.
Wow. Dang.
So we have 55 over, which is averaging over 10K a week.
Correct.
So I sent it to him and he's like, he goes, do you have any recommendations? I feel like you have the blueprint for it. And I'm like, well, so I literally said, I'd be willing to bet my house you don't do enough presentations for it. And I'd be willing to bet my Bentley you don't do enough prospecting to get those presentations. He replied and said, you would win that bet.
And then the other bet on the on leads, right?
Yeah. I mean, it is what. So he goes, and again, you can keep it as simple as you want, but he literally goes, I'm doing on average 20 presentations a week. 20 presentations a week, and I do a little bit over 20 grand a month. And he goes, can you give me any advice on how to get to 40? So I said, welp, being like a sarcastic ass. I'm like, if 20 presentations is getting you 20K, wouldn't 40 get you 40K, bro? And whatever you're spending on leads now, wouldn't it all just work? He goes, it's nothing deeper than that. Double my appointments and double my leads. I'm like, so I said, do you want a different answer? He said, you know what he said? Honestly, yes. He wants a different answer.
I would love to know who this is, but obviously you can't say it on here.
I'll tell you offline. I'll definitely tell you offline.
What's funny is if you told me a few different companies, I could probably guess who it is.
You probably could.
That's freaking funny, dude. Like, okay, so honest question. Like you guys are, listen to this podcast. We literally were talking about all this before, and then we're like, John's like, why don't we just record it? So we just started it, and then we're in the middle of the podcast, which is great. I think it's cool. Why do we complicate everything if it really is that simple?
Dude, it's so wild. I wasn't expecting him to say, honestly, yes, I want a different answer. But most people watching want a different answer.
Yeah, they do.
They don't want the answer to be, I have to work twice as much.
No.
And what I always try to say, dude, is to me, that was so relieving that was the answer. Because that seemed easier than all the other stuff I thought I had to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, it's not that can you get better? Yeah. Just, can I make him get to a point where he sells 40 on not double the lead spend? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? But to go prove it, I'm like, you spent a year trying to figure this out. If you just spent 30 days doing double, it would work, right? Can you just wrap your head around that first? And then let's work on getting better later. hence the book, which I
Yeah.
did not do on purpose. It's just dude, that's how I think, man. I'm like, all right, look, if we're gonna do 40 presentations, do 40K. Now let's work on your skill set so we can do it in 30. And then you can start recruiting. And then you can get referrals. And then you can get IUL business. And then you can get annuity business. Like we can add those things on.
Yep.
You know, and I find that so many people want to do that first, you know, and they want this skill set like rocket ship to happen after one podcast that suddenly they go from closing 2 out of 10 to closing 8 out of 10. And I'm like, I don't see that.
Did you ever close 8 out of 10?
No. I mean, maybe I got on a lucky streak and I closed 8 out of a certain 10. Yes.
I definitely did not.
What I will say, what I got really good at, dude, I had a 40% closing ratio, right?
Okay.
If I sit with you, I'm closing 40% of them. But I didn't show numbers to all 10. If I sit 10 and close 4, dude, I probably only showed numbers to 5.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Maybe 6.
Yep.
And I would get up and leave from the other 4 or 5.
So, okay. So on that note, a lot of people say that you should show numbers to everyone.
I wasn't going to.
Talk through that.
So for me, pricing is the only leverage you have in the conversation.
In this industry, for sure.
Yes, that's the only leverage you got in the moment.
I would agree with that.
Because insurance agents are a dime a dozen. You can get them anywhere. And they can get pricing anywhere too. But in that moment, you're with them, they're with you, they want pricing.
That's what they're waiting to hear from you.
That's what they want right now. You know what I mean? So until you give that out, you have the ability to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The moment I give out pricing, I lose all leverage. They can say whatever they want. And it's hard for me to go back and go, what about, hey, what happens if, oh my God, what? It's, dude, you sound like a scumbag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if beforehand, and you just pose it the right way, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm a turd. And again, I don't think that clients are blind to it, but there isn't just a price. You know what I mean? It's not like I have one price that I'm just withholding and keeping it in my pocket. I actually have to do a good job at discovering your problem.
Yeah.
And I have to do a good job at underwriting the situation so I can make sure the price I give you actually applies to you and solves your problem. You know, so for me, when people would do that, you know, again, we've all had that guy that's like, can you just give me the pricing? I'd be like, dude, Cody, I would love nothing more than to just give you the pricing, dude. Unfortunately, there's 743 different options, and I don't have time to give you all of them, and I know you don't want all of them. So do you mind if I ask you a few questions so we can narrow down your options specifically for you, and then I can give you your pricing? Is that okay? And they chill. And then it allows you to ask questions. You know what I mean? So it kind of like that was it, dude. And you know, from there, man, it is teaching people how to uncover problems, you know? And because if your product, it's like, are you really selling, I'm going to make up numbers. Are you really selling $100,000 in coverage for $82 a month? Is that really what we're selling? Y'all watching, some of y'all, that's what you're selling.
Yeah.
And it's A-rated carrier. And they got a cow name and they've been around for 150 years. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what you're selling. That's probably the problem. You know what I'm saying? It's like, why are we not selling the solution to their problem versus the fancy brochure they send you with and the trifold that, like, who cares? And this one, I'm a broker and I work with 142 companies and I just researched them all. And this one's the cheapest. Like, I don't know, dude. It's like, if I wanted a nice meal and I got the cheapest food, is that really what I want? You know what I mean? Like, in your wardrobe, is it the cheapest clothing? Do you have the cheapest car? It's like, why is cheap the sale?
Yep. It's good.
And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, dude.
I do too. I had a appointment early in my career where the guy's like, just give me the pricing. And I'm like, oh, this dude's really interested. This is phenomenal. And I gave it all to him. And he's like, okay, sounds good. I'll talk to you next week. I'm like,
yeah, 100%.
What the freak just happened?
Yeah. We'll call you. Give me your card. Can I have your card? Dude, it didn't take me about, I don't know, maybe after about 2 years, dude, you didn't get my card unless you bought.
Yep, same.
I was not giving, I mean, the first couple of years when I got pushed around and bullied and was making no money, I give everybody a card and I'd follow up and, I'd try to pre-book can I just book it? Yeah, next week. How about I just book it and come back at the same time? And after a minute, dude, I just started being honest with people. I'm like, Cody, can I be real, bro? You and I both know exactly what's going to happen with that card when I walk out this front door. Just like I know if I took yours when you were at my house, I'd throw it in the trash.
Mm.
I mean, so it's like, if you want me to leave, I'll leave, all good. But if you're looking to help your family, can we actually have a conversation about this?
That's good. So, okay, so most agents, personalities, whatever, do struggle to do what you just did.
Yeah.
They struggle to be direct with people, like direct, real, transparent.
Yeah.
And they struggle to say what they're thinking. Like they know what they want to say, but they
articulate it the right way.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. It's like what I've had success with agents, especially the personality type that's a little more timid to do that. And what's funny, dude, is be clear. People don't take it. If your tone is right, and your intentions are right, they won't take it as rude. It just sounds different to someone who's not used to being direct and used to beating around the bush. But if you can present it in a way like any of you agents watching that are, I don't know what you call that personality type. What color would that be, Cody, from Nate? Is that like
a
yellow?
Red? Oh, yellow. Like
the other one. Like yellow, right?
Yeah, more emotional.
Yeah. And I don't know what it is on the natural disc profile, but like y'all know who you are.
Yeah. Probably a S.
Yeah. It's like, think about the person that you have the best relationship with, that you can be yourself, that you trust, that you can be honest with. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your husband, your wife, whatever. You have someone that you can deliver something to, like really honestly, your best girlfriend in the world, your best buddy, whoever that person is that you can be real with. You don't have to hide under your shell. If you can just in that moment think how you would speak to that person.
Yeah.
And just treat this client like that person for a moment. You know what I mean? I found, dude, that gives a lot of people the freedom to kind of open up their personality. And we're not doing it in you reds and high Ds. Don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If it's for the right intention, man.
Yeah.
And listen, am I going to get paid from it if I make a sale? Yeah. But to be clear, and I would tell clients this, they need the insurance way more than I needed the sale. And I'd be honest with them. I'm like, I made 10 sales already this week. This sale is not going to make or break my career. But if you don't get coverage based on what you just told me, Susan, would happen to you if Bob passed away, y'all are in a really bad situation. I get to go home. I'm covered. I make a living. I have I get paid whether or not you buy a policy right now. I'm good if I walk out this door. I walk out this door and you don't want to do this ever again because you don't like the experience. Y'all are going to be in trouble. If you're okay with that, you let me know. I'll get up and leave now. Now, again, I'm using the words because I was always sitting at kitchen tables. You know what I mean? Yeah, today's world, you're in Zoom, whatever, phone, just make the words work. And dude, I would start to like fold my stuff up. I had a little folder in my back, in my little briefcase and stuff like that, and laptop back in the day. Dude, I'd be talking like, again, very nicely, but I wasn't going to arm wrestle people, man, to take care of their family. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to force someone to buy. Can I get a check? Back in the day when we used to get checks, can I get someone to pay? Oh yeah, I can get someone to pay, but that's not my style, dude. I don't want that.
Well, and you've in your example, you've already covered 10 families that week. It wasn't going to make or break your career. No. However, a lot of agents haven't covered anybody this week, or they've correct. One or two, and so it does feel
not
like
for the right reasons.
Yeah,
because it is. Yeah. Because it doesn't feel right because it's not right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, although I might not have the best closing percentage, I did close a majority of people I showed to because I learned to cut bait, dude. If you're not willing to help your family, I don't need to be here. Like,
Yeah.
what do you need me for? You know what I mean? You need me for a quote? You can Google a quote.
Yeah.
I'm not the quote guy. And I would openly tell people that, you know?
Hmm.
But I have an award upstairs for persistency. Dude, my stuff stayed on the books, dude, and got placed. I have placement and persistency awards.
Wow.
Like if I sold it, I'm
Wow.
like 98% play. Like it got placed. Like
Dang.
my stuff went through because I knew my underwriting. You know what I mean? And I would ask enough questions to get, because I learned the hard way. You can sell a policy
Mm.
and then not get paid. I didn't like that, you know, and I also didn't like selling a policy and getting paid and having it taken away. I hated that even more.
That's
So I made sure, dude, my stuff stayed. I mean, I'm over 90% on placement and dude, even today, today, physically now, our team persistency, I looked at it the other day, was like 84,
wow.
which our side, that's pretty freaking good.
And there's probably a ton of virtual in that.
Yeah. Yeah. So like we do pretty good,
That's
dude.
phenomenal.
You know, so again, it's just being honest with people, man, and being okay, having an open conversation. And you
Yep.
are going to learn you are going to have to learn how to deliver it. Cause I'll be honest, dude. Whew, I can tell you quite a few stories of getting kicked out of houses because I delivered it the wrong way.
Mm.
And I used a sarcastic tone and I was kind of an ass. And you know what I mean? Like it was about me.
Yep.
And I was like cocky. And I mean, early on, learning to kind of refine being direct with people, I messed it up a lot, dude. And some people watching, that's why I wanted to clarify. Like, don't be an ass to people. You know what I mean? Especially clients. I mean, you want to be an ass to me or Cody. We can handle it. But
That's true.
there's a lot where I'd get like, hey, show me the pricing. And I'd be like, oh, this is going to be a freaking good one. Are you like this all the time? And you know what I mean? That don't do that. Trust me, that will get you kicked out or hung up on in today's world. You know?
Yeah, it's easy. It's even easier to get
Correct.
for them to remove you from their life.
You know, I several times thought I was going to get hit. And I'm like, oh, I should stop this. I gotta get better.
You start hiring security for your appointment.
Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
yeah, dude. I think at its core, it is certainly. Again, here's what I do know. If someone gives me, like, if I'm trying to work with an agent on helping them get better, if you have two agents, okay, we have agent A and agent B, and agent A gives me 20 times a week cases where they were told no, got hung up on, you know what I mean? Like presentations.
Yep.
Didn't make a sale, missed something, got told they want to think about it, got told they have to talk to their attorney first. They don't do anything on the first time seeing pricing ever. It's just a rule in our household. All the stuff, dude. You give me, agent A gives me that 20 times a week, and agent B gives me that 3, 4, 5 times a week. Who can I get better faster? I mean, it's not even a question.
No.
You know, and if the one that's doing it 3, 4, 5 times a week, I could give them all my best stuff. And statistically, they're still only going to sell so much and they're still only going to retain so much.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And I've just learned, dude, it's like if I'm trying to grow a company, which I was and am, it's like trying to bang my head against the wall all day, trying to build a company with people who have very low effort.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, and to me, dude, if you don't have a lot of effort, again, I always give the exception. You know, you give me the single mom and that's all she can do. I have a soft spot for her. Outside of that, dude, I don't have any sympathy for the dudes who run 5 appointments a week and complain. I'd have zero sympathy for them, especially the ones that don't have a job also.
Yeah, correct.
You know, but for me, if you really want to get better, I'm willing to help, but I want to see effort first, dude. You know, Maddox at baseball, bro. When he's out on the field at practice, I'm like, I know it's not a game, but you have better stand out compared to the other kids because these coaches are watching who's putting in the most effort during practice.
Mm-hmm.
You will get more attention from the coaches if you run to your position during practice instead of mosey on over. You know what I mean? Like you'll get noticed more.
Big time.
And so I tried to live by that, man. I wanted to help the people who wanted to help themselves more. And a combination of the activity combined with tweaking sales stuff and phone script stuff and you know what I mean? And now I do it all the time, dude. I probably have a few people a day that DM me something like specific. Yeah. And I'll have people record stuff and send it to me. And I'll give them feedback, dude.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like I enjoy helping people, but you got to be working,
Mm-hmm.
you know? So yeah, I think it's, I would say, you know, what's funny is something else that's come to mind. Well, you let me know if you want me to talk about anything else. I got another one that messes a lot of people up.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I got a few different directions I could go, but let's do that. Yeah, I got a few more minutes, so I'm interested.
So someone asked me told me he texts me, and he works directly with me. Text me, still can't figure out how to get to 40 grand. I'm like, oh my God, I've told you 952,000 times. But he said he's struggling with cash flow. He doesn't know how to manage the cash flow to be able to reinvest back into leads, which you see all the time, obviously.
Yep.
You know, and I said, let me ask you a question, dude. Do your commissions get deposited in the same account that you pay your bills out of? I'd be willing to bet my house that it does. And every agent I've seen struggling with cash flow issues, their deposits go into the same spot that they pay their electric bill and Uber bill out of, and DoorDash, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the same spot. And the reason you have a hard time with the investment into leads properly is because your deposits go into where your bills are, and then you pay your car bill and your mortgage and DoorDash and all the stuff, and then you hope there's something left for leads.
Correct.
Whereas the way to set it up is to have all your commissions go into a separate account. And the very first thing you do is buy more revenue, which is leads.
Yeah.
And if there's any money left there, then you pay yourself a salary into your personal account. And most people don't do that. They do it in the wrong order. And I said it's a lot like the clients you get mad at that say they can't. Correct? You see where it's going? That's like where
just thinking that 100%.
Where they say they can't afford insurance. And I'm like, why? Because they get their deposit and then they go out to eat 4 times a week and they buy their cigarettes and they buy their beer and they buy all the stuff and they get the cable and the cell phone bill. And then at the end, they hope there's $42 a month left for your insurance bill.
Correct.
So y'all are a lot like the clients you complain about every day that cancel their policies. You know what I'm saying? And just that alone, dude, that cash management can about double most people's income right away if you manage the flow properly.
100%. You know? I had an agent earlier. He's like, yeah, dude, I 10x my lead investment, and I'm hoping I'm going to reorder soon when I get some more money. I'm like, what? You 10x your lead investment, you don't have any money left.
And dude, agents get frustrated with me on this one because they're like, well, you got the bills and I got the bills. And I'm like, listen, if we open a pizza joint, okay, and you sell 100 pizzas that week and you only go buy enough dough next week for 12 pizzas because you paid your bills first.
Yeah.
Would that be a smart move? And what's worse is the 88 people that no longer bought from you, you know, they still bought pizza this week. They just bought from someone else.
Correct.
And so y'all have clients that could be buying from you. You just didn't buy your inventory this week. So they're buying from someone else instead.
Gosh, that's good.
You know?
I love that. And like, okay, the pizza joint. It's like, okay, what do we need to have to open a pizza restaurant? Well, you know what I mean?
Get into that.
We need a business license. Obviously, you need a building and all their stuff. You know, you need like there's a lot of
oven costs, bro.
Yeah, I don't even know. Like,
so my mentor Mike, before insurance, he owned a pizza joint. So he would use this analogy. I worked with him. I mean, he owned one, but he was like, dude, it was $150,000 just for the oven. Just for the oven.
Jeez Louise.
You know, the margins in restaurants are nothing.
I've heard that too. Like the local Colton's guy, he says he does like 3.6 million a year, and they're lucky if they profit like 360K.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
mother of pearl,
dude. Food alone. Hey, when I worked at the pizza joint in the late 90s, the food cost, and maybe it's still the same when they change pricing,
Sure.
but the food, just to buy the food to put on the pizza, was 35%.
That's
So you make $1, 35 cents just for the ingredients.
Yep.
Much less the labor, the rent,
Correct.
you know what I mean, the utilities, all the other stuff.
Yep. And back to your point too, like the one of the things they're going to do if they open a pizza joint is open up a business bank account.
Correct. Can you imagine? Domino's, their deposits go into, whoever the hell owns its personal bank account.
James and Heather Edwards, and it's their personal
Correct.
bank.
It's like, what?
Oh my gosh, dude.
Who would do that?
Correct.
99% of agents do it.
They do. They do.
You know what I mean? It's like, are you what?
Well, we're going to get
especially when the spouse doesn't have the buy-in or manages the money. The spouse manages the money and you're the agent trying to buy leads. Like, how's that chaos? How do you like that life every time you got a freaking kaboom comes out? And you have you know what I mean? Like, that ain't the way to do it.
No.
So again, those couple tweaks alone, man, will change people's world. It's just, let's reorder. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not buying leads. You're buying revenue.
Yep. I love that. Buying revenue, buying inventory. Yeah. If they're buying from somebody, they're going to buy from somebody else. Yeah. So good. And what's funny is you've given them, you've really given them everything they need to make 40 grand a month, but we'll still get some people in the comments like, wait, what? Yeah. I'm like,
what do I do? They didn't say anything.
You got a bunch of freaking nuggets today from just having a conversation, right? If they want to continue to follow, check out the book, learn more, what should they do or where should they go?
Yeah, I mean, the website, johnwetmore.com, has links to everything we got going on, whether events or book or the merch or all the stuff I do.
Yeah, you got some merch dropping soon. I saw that.
We do. We have it out, but Reese is redoing the website, apparently. It's coming out on Halloween. They're going to drop some new stuff and make the website cooler because I rolled out of bed one day. I made the merch because I was tired of buying other people's stuff. Yeah. So I made my own. So it's like super comfortable. It's like the nice stuff that I like to wear. Cool. But yeah, we're actually making like a legit website and stuff now. That's coming awesome. Out. But most people if it's on social, most people hit me up on Instagram.
Cool.
Just at John Wetmore.
Let's go, dude. Thanks for coming back and having a conversation. We'll be together next week in Vegas and everywhere else around the world, bro.
Let's do it.
Appreciate you being on.
I'm gonna later.
Okay. Thank you guys for hanging. You heard about leads, kaboomleads.com. Use coupon code YouTube for 10% off your next order, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Adios.